someone clap her shit.
Welcome to the Tackling Basketball Podcast, everybody. My name is Evan.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Micah.
And we got a banger episode for y'all today. We, of course, got Toast and Roast, our power ranking segments, matchup of the week. Jonathan will be running some trivia for us. And when he was making it, he was dubiously laughing over in the corner. So I'm a little frightened by what we have in store here, Micah.
Scary.
But we shall see. And then, of course, Sportsbook Showdown. But let's jump into it. Micah, we'll kick it over to you for your Toast of the Week.
Yeah, I'm toasting Tyrese Maxey after just dropping a 50 bomb the other night. If there's anyone that should be happy that James Harden is out of the Clippers, it is Tyrese Maxey. He is fully taken over as the number 2 guy and the point guard who's leading this team. He is averaging this year 28.6 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. All of those have rapidly increased from last year. He is getting so many more minutes and being the leader, and he is showing that he can do this and deserves the spot more than James Harden did.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is a system, you know? He can do everything.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think it's nice for the city of Philadelphia, too, is that this is a guy that's been brought up within the 76ers. It's not James Harden, who they just went out and snagged in an attempt to try and win it all, which failed. This is a guy who they can be excited about, and realistically, I mean, he'll at least be on the team for the next 3 years, and hopefully they can convince him to stay for a lot longer than that. So, I mean, this could be the guy that's, the new franchise cornerstone alongside Embiid, and then if Embiid ever leaves or retires at some point, Maxey can continue to handle it. So
as long as the organization doesn't crumble, he should be there for a long time.
Yeah, which is awesome. And he just seems like a genuinely really good guy, too, which is always great to see in the NBA versus James Harden, who F that guy.
I'm sure we'll talk about him.
Oh, without a doubt.
So, all right. Well, Jonathan, we'll pass it. We'll kind of pass it. Jonathan, just tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so it's a secret. Shut up. My roast this week, my toast this week, oh my gosh, is actually an answer to a trivia question. So I'll bring it up later.
All right.
Yay.
Congrats to that team or person or thing that happened.
They really did a thing.
Cheers.
Yes.
My toast for this week is the San Francisco 49ers. There are a lot of NFL teams, Texans, Lions. A lot of teams could have fit the bill for getting the toast this week, but I feel like 49ers deserved it. Coming off of 3 straight losses, the entire NFL world was down on the 49ers. People were saying they were extremely overrated and that they weren't going to go far and that they kind of used up their wins for the season early on. And then they came out and demolished the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that we had all had in our top 6 of power rankings and we're all very high on. Yeah. A very, very good football team. And the 49ers went to Jacksonville and did that to them. Brock Purdy looked like he had been earlier this season. He was, he was 19 for 26, 296 yards with 148.9 quarterback rating and 3 touchdowns. He balled out. Christian McCaffrey didn't even have to score a touchdown, which unfortunately ended his 17-game streak. And one of the funniest clips I've ever seen in my life. After the game, they asked Christian McCaffrey about it, and he said, "Yeah, I suck. Everybody else scored a touchdown today, but I didn't," which was great. But 49ers are back to looking amazing. Their defense is stellar. Chase Young and Nick Bosa now together is just going to be an absolute problem for any offensive line.
Yeah.
Everybody coming up on their schedule, if you're an O-lineman, you should be terrified. I would not want to play against those two together. So, 49ers are back in the driver's seat. Absolutely a top team in the NFC along with the Eagles and Cowboys, and should be contending for the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right, Micah, over to you for your roast.
This is less of a roast and me just being sad and venting. I guess I'm roasting the Blazers' big man curse.
Yeah.
It's just awful. Robert Williams is out for the season with a leg injury. Like always, anytime we have a good young center, they get hurt and they're gone forever. And it just sucks. I was Googling Blazers curse just in general, and I was getting Reddit things from like 2011 complaining about the Blazers curse. Also, I looked at every other franchise, and they also have one. It's just, like everyone thinks they're cursed, so I get that. But
Nuggets fans call it Nug Life, but we conquered it last year. It's dead.
Exactly. We still have not conquered ours.
We won in 77, and then literally the next year, Bill Walton got hurt, and it has been downhill since then.
One of my favorite things that I saw on Reddit while I was looking for this was a theory that Bill Walton placed this curse because he wants to be the greatest big man of all time for the Blazers. And if there is any person on the Blazers that would cast a curse, it is for sure Bill Walton.
And it's 100% some voodoo shit, too.
Yeah. He was in the woods sometime, probably high off his mind on shrooms.
That's amazing.
You go down the list historically. It started with Walton, but then Sabonis had knee issues. Wallace had knee issues. Cliff Robinson had knee issues. Nurkic literally snapped his leg in half. Greg Collins, Greg Oden's entire body, and now Robert
Didn't Aldridge
Williams.
have some things with you too?
No, he was actually he was healthy.
Yeah.
He actually didn't really get hurt until he was with the Spurs when he was in his 30s, and at that point it's like, makes sense.
Yeah,
but it's anytime the Blazers get a center who we're really high on, super excited about. The universe says no.
And I don't know why this one's more painful to me than some of the other ones, because we're not trying to win. We just want to go out there, have a good time. We got some young people. Just leave us alone. There's no reason for us to get picked on.
Right.
Well, this time we don't have Enes Kanter as his backup to provide some stability.
Freedom. He prefers freedom.
Oh yeah, Enes freedom. And to the Turkish government listening, he's absolutely not in America. He's not here. You won't find him.
Not at all. I think he's in international waters. You should probably search there.
All right, Jonathan, over to you for another weird one.
Man, what the hell was that, Bills? It took so long for you to get any drive working, and finally, as you sort of start to figure yourselves out, Josh Allen fumbles at the goal line, 3 turnovers, huge loss to the Broncos on Monday night in your home stadium. What the heck? Disclaimer, we're recording this just before that game starts, so this is just clairvoyance. I am really killing this episode. Over to you, Evan.
This is so painful. All right, for my roast this week, I have to go with the Los Angeles Clippers. We crapped on James Harden last week, which was well-deserved, but this week it's the Clippers as a whole. They're 0-5 since they traded for him. They look just bad. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George honestly just kind of look dejected, almost as if they didn't really want him there. And I think probably not. And Russell Westbrook.
I'm sure they wanted him there more than Terrence Mann.
It's just such a bad look. And I kind of felt like something like this was going to happen.
I didn't think it was going to happen like this, though.
So, I don't know. I think the Clippers are obviously already regretting this. I'm just waiting to see now when James Harden inevitably asks to be traded away close to the deadline when the Clippers are not in the playoff picture because he's like, I want to go win a ring. And literally no other team in the NBA is going to want him.
Yep.
So there is part of me that wonders if after the season, if things go completely sideways for the Clippers here, if they just wind up completely cutting bait with him, not even trying to seek a trade and just accepting the L and sending him off into the sunset of the Chinese basketball league. Because, at this point, straight up, of the 29 other teams, no one would trade for him.
No one would trade
there's
for
no
him.
Market.
No one would pay enough that he would consider picking up their free agent contract.
Yeah.
He might be forced into retirement. Yeah.
Like, if I could put a futures bet on where James Harden would be playing next year, seriously, I'd probably put like the Shanghai Sharks or something. Because
what else do you need for that? Like plus 500?
I'd probably put it regardless.
Right? Even odds.
Minus
Shanghai
150.
Sharks.
Because Chinese basketball league in general. Like, I don't know what his issue is. It's just like, it's like he wants to play in the NBA and win a championship, but he doesn't want to be in the NBA and like abide by like how the NBA operates and how NBA teams roll. So he's just weird, and the Clippers are dumb for this trade.
Yeah.
Clippers have not won since they acquired Harden, and they've lost to bad teams. They lost to Memphis. Like, I like the Nets, but Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook should not lose to. Damn it! I was on a run. The
Nets.
I know, but the specific guy, Mikal Bridges.
Yeah. Grizzlies, Mavericks, Nets, Knicks, Lakers. Yikes.
Yeah, not.
And they allowed the Mavericks to score 144 points.
Is that the Grizzlies' only win this year?
No,
they beat the Blazers.
All right.
After the Blazers beat them. That's an important note
huge.
there in the timeline.
Huge.
So, yep. Clippers suck. They're idiots. Get roasted.
Bam.
All right, now over to NFL Power Rankings. Kind of a weird week for Power Rankings. A lot of teams were on bye. I feel like a lot of teams lost games that, in my mind, didn't really change their standing for me that much.
Yeah.
Like, the Saints lost, but the way they lost, I kind of just left them in their spot because it was like, they lost. So, like, Derek Carr got hurt, but all the
I had
teams...
the Saints go up.
all the teams for me below the Saints, I legitimately feel are worse than the Saints, so I couldn't justify dropping them any lower.
Yeah.
And, like, same with the Packers. Like, yes, the Packers didn't win, but also I feel like the Rams, Patriots, Giants, Cardinals, and Panthers are all worse than them.
Yeah.
So it's a weird spot in the season. But Micah, who is your biggest riser and faller?
I had the Lions and the Niners rising for. I mostly had the Lions rising because I needed to drop the Bengals and Jaguars after that week.
Yeah.
I dropped the Dolphins even though they didn't play because I needed to boost up the Niners.
Yeah.
There was like a lot of teams that I moved that I was like, you did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Right.
Other people are impacting you. And I mean, like Evan said, like Steelers won. They stayed completely pat because, I thought they should win that game. And Chargers, I did boost the Vikings up because they're actually looking pretty good with Josh Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
They're a fun team. I like the Vikings. I hope to keep them rising, but
Definitely.
Texans beat the Bengals, guys. Like,
yeah.
that was huge. So obviously we had to. We all bumped up the Texans a couple of spots, except for Micah, who only bumped them up a spot.
I didn't want to put them above the other teams I had up there.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, they did really well this week. The Ravens, once again, a conundrum. Like, I'm guaranteeing you their playoffs will be exactly like this. They will dominate two teams and then get destroyed.
Yeah.
Or maybe the other way around. They'll get destroyed and then they would have dominated two teams, but they're already eliminated. They're just weird. Browns, great win. Bears, you guys did it. You beat a shitty team. Way to go. And then Titans just keep falling for me. But, yeah.
I had the Jets as my biggest faller. I kept keeping him up there because they kept managing to squeak out those little defensive wins, and it was like, okay, their defense is just so good that they're able to do this, but the last 2 games have just proven that it's just not going to work for him.
Yeah.
Like, the offense needs to actually be able to accomplish something, and as much as I want Zach Wilson to be successful, because I really like Zach Wilson, it just isn't working out. And to be fair to him, his O-line is hot garbage, and he gets absolutely destroyed on every single snap. So to a certain degree, I'm not putting the full blame on them. And then also you watch the game against the Raiders, and the number of times they were rolling down the field, had good momentum, and then someone made a dumb penalty that just brought it to a halt and screwed them over. So, like, while I don't necessarily think Zach Wilson is the future of the New York Jets, it's also hard to put all the blame on him because, like, the team as a whole is just screwing stuff up. They're very undisciplined. Not sure whether you should blame Robert Saleh or, like, the O-lineman's coach for that, but there's just a lot of stuff going on for the Jets. And then I've been fanboying over the 49ers all season long. I moved them higher than either of you two up to 3rd, but also in part because the Ravens dropped, the Jaguars dropped, the Bengals dropped. So it was partially because, yes, I liked what the 49ers did, and also partially that it was just holes were being left by teams by teams falling. And then, the Bengals, that loss to the Texans was a killer. That kills a lot of the momentum they have on the season, too. They were on an absolute...
They were looking
they were dominating. And to be fair, the Texans are looking very, very
way
good.
better than expected.
And what's kind of exciting for the Texans, too, is like we were talking last week about how C.J. Stroud had to put on a superhero performance to win that game. Honestly, like, he played well, but, like, he threw an interception. His completion percentage wasn't phenomenal. Like, it was kind of just the Texans as a whole, which is exciting for them. Yeah. So...
Speaking of, that was C.J. Stroud's first interception since week 1, I think. So he has been carrying them on his shoulders, but he is getting a little bit of help this week. So yeah.
Yay, Texans!
Way to go, Texans!
Shift over to our matchup of the week. This is one I know, Micah, you put in. What did you put in? The Celtics 76ers for Wednesday. But I felt like...
I like talking about basketball.
I know you like talking about basketball, but I felt like the Super Bowl rematch that we have going on for Monday Night Football was a...
And all of our collective 1 and 2 teams.
Yeah.
It's the 2 best teams.
So, Eagles-Chiefs, prime time, Monday Night Football for next week. Absolutely the matchup of the week. I mean, this is going to be absolutely electric. Chiefs are coming off a bye, so they're well rested. Travis Kelce's been in Argentina, apparently. Patrick Mahomes will be coming out hot. They've been kind of hurt the past couple of weeks, and we'll be able to turn it around now. The Eagles have been just looking as dominant as they did last year, and almost to a certain degree, I kind of respect and appreciate what the Eagles have been doing this year more, because it felt like last year they literally just dog-walked every single team they encountered and really didn't have the chance to face that much adversity. But this season, they've had a lot of tight games because people have figured out their offense, and yet the Eagles have still been winning games and pulling it out. So probably the 2 best teams in the NFL.
1 and 2 on all of our power rankings.
Yeah, 1 and 2 in all of our power rankings. Quite possibly could wind up being a Super Bowl matchup if things stay the course. So it'll be very exciting to watch.
Yeah.
You took everything.
All right, well. All right, shift over to NBA Power Rankings. Jonathan, let's start with you.
Okay. Timberwolves continue to impress. So I only moved them 2 spots, but I do think that they're very noteworthy still being at number 5. The Nuggets...
We all have them at number 5.
The Nuggets, I did drop 1 spot from the top, partially because the 76ers have been very impressive, and also because Jamal Murray is out for a month. So we've already seen what you sow when you're missing your number 2 player, and we ate a tough loss to Houston last night. So hopefully he can recover quickly and the Nuggets can get back on track. But for now, they are a little bit fallen. Magic, I still have too low, and but they are still a top riser for me. Pelicans have been horrible. Clippers have been horrible, and I know you both wanted to talk about at least the Clippers, probably both of them. So I'll pass it over to Micah now.
I mean, I feel like we covered the Clippers.
Yeah.
They're bad. They haven't won since they got Harden, and it's a terrible look. I would say 3 people who are still performing amazingly. Like, even Harden last season was playing really, really good, and it's like not playing badly.
Right.
They're just not winning. Westbrook has been falling for the last couple of years, but still can produce and is a fine player.
Every single one of them first ballot Hall of Famer.
And Paul George still looks incredible. Kawhi Leonard still really, really, really good. Like, you should not be losing these games. But whatever. Enough about the Clippers. The team that I had the biggest riser was Houston skyrocketing.
Give me some.
Thank you. They're looking really, really good. They're on a 6-game win streak right now, including a win over Denver and the Pelicans, who Pelicans have been dropping. Lakers, Kings twice, Hornets. Like, besides Denver, not like phenomenal teams, but this was a bad team that we all thought was gonna be at the bottom.
Yeah.
And they are looking really well somehow. I don't really think it'll last.
Yeah.
I have them at 12, and I think it's probably the highest I'll have them all season. Yeah. But honestly, I will root for them to keep climbing because it's fun to see a team, another Houston team.
Right. Who would have thought Houston sports would be good this year?
Yeah.
They were expecting complete misery, and now they have a couple of Cinderella stories.
The better question is, who would have thought that you and I would ever be witnessing Micah actually root for the Rockets?
James Harden's not on it anymore.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverly's not on it anymore. Josh Smith, Jason Terry. Fuck all those guys. At this point, it's still fuck Dylan Brooks, I guess. But who really cares?
He's kind of fun to watch, actually.
But let's see. Other fallers I had the Pelicans dropping a lot, doing the same thing they did last season, which was look incredible at the start, and oh my god, this team can beat anyone. And then injuries start to happen. They don't look great. Zion's missed a couple games. CJ's going to be out for a while with a collapsed lung, which sucks to see because CJ's the coolest. Yeah. Everyone loves CJ. But
they were my biggest riser after week 1.
Yeah.
And now they're almost back to where they were before.
Yeah.
So they've lost 5 straight.
Yeah.
And to decent teams, but still.
It's a bummer. I really like everyone on the Pelicans. And they are going through some injuries. CJ's out. Like I said, Zion missed a few games. Not Herb Jones, but the other guy. Maybe Herb Jones?
He's on the Pelicans.
Yeah. Trey Murphy's been out. Jose Alvarado, who's so much fun to watch because of all his stupid steals that he gets, has been out all season. So hopefully they can manage just to have a season where they're actually healthy for a long period of time. I do think this can be a really good team, but they've been disappointing this last couple weeks.
Yeah.
What about you, Evan? What do you want to talk about?
You guys covered most of them. One team I'll call out is the Spurs, who have definitely kind of come back down to earth after their 2 wins over the Suns and starting out 3-2. They've now lost 5 straight, and what we were all kind of talking about would likely happen is people have been able to start containing Wemby a little bit and have been forcing other guys on the Spurs to try to beat them, and the other guys on the Spurs are not capable of beating anybody. So
I also with the Spurs, I feel like I threw them too high up the rankings last week. I overreacted because looking back over the 4 games between the end of week 1 and the end of week 2, during week 2, I guess you could say, they went 2-2, which isn't unimpressive, but it was enough to let us rise them because they beat some opponents that were really good. But they had a win-loss differential of minus 10.3. They got destroyed in those 2 games, and they barely squeaked out 2 wins. Yeah. So
I think in those Sun games, it was Wemby going, this is my chance to solidify myself as a top talent and beat Kevin Durant. And that's exactly what he did. And then since then, I'm sure Wemby already knows, like, we're not making the postseason this year. So when it comes to the average game, I'm not saying he's not trying. I think he's giving 100% in every game. But I think in the Suns game, he gave, 110%. Like, he kicked on the afterburners a little bit. And now
for sure.
He's just kind of seeing, like, I'm going to kill myself if I try and do that every single night. So,
Yeah.
And still miss playing.
yeah.
So,
So it's just...
I mean, all of us had them dropping 224.
Yeah.
Where they were at the start. Like, I do want to give them a shout out on one of their losses. They lost to the Timberwolves this week. And they were like ahead the first 3 quarters and were looking really, really good. Vassell and Sohan were like playing really well. Wemby is obviously really good and wasn't really that stifled by Cat or Gobert. Like, they were looking really good, and then Timberwolves, being an incredible team that we all have at number 5, managed to pull out the game and win it. But like, even in that loss, I was like, this isn't a bad loss. Like, like, you almost won it, and it's against a really good team. So
I wouldn't be surprised if that's their season, where it's like not necessarily them getting destroyed all the time. It's just they don't have the experience to win those close games. Yeah. And when it gets to the fourth quarter, just turn up that intensity. They're so young. They just don't know how to do it yet. So they're definitely a good enough team where they shouldn't be getting blown out by 30 every single night like the Wizards or the Pistons. Also,
Wizards, you suck. Jordan Poole, you suck. You were supposed to be so good for me this year. Because I have him on fantasy, and I was like, man, he's going to thrive. He's going to be the guy. And he's so bad. I think he's averaging less stats than he did when he was the bench player for Golden State. Dude, look, I hate Jordan Poole.
The Warriors are looking like geniuses for getting rid of him when they did, honestly. Like, he's kind of just wasting space on the Wizards, but
it's hurting my guy Koulibaly too, because like
he still dropped like 30 the other night.
He did, but he's like primarily a playmaker, and there's no one else to distribute to on that team.
Yeah, even Kuzma's been like kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
he's still averaging like 20 points a game, but you're the only guy now. They're so bad.
I'll also say I find it pretty funny that we already pretty much have our 24-30 perfectly aligned, other than me just having the Jazz above the Hornets. But
what is that, dude?
Honestly,
discuss.
I was torn about that for a while. I was like looking at that, and I was like, I don't know. I was like looking at both of their games, and I was like, I think just LaMelo Ball's the best player on either of those teams, so I gotta give it to them.
I honestly couldn't even tell you why I picked one or the other. Let's see.
I couldn't either.
Let's see. Does one have a better...
I did not care as much as you, Micah.
Yeah, this is where I put in all of my effort.
That's fair.
Where did I put in effort?
I think the reason I did it is because the Jazz have at least beat the Clippers pre-James Harden, so they at least have like one good win on the docket, whereas I feel like the Hornets haven't beaten anybody of note so far this year. That was my only logic.
Fair enough.
Not that it really matters.
Why are we debating this?
You asked. Jackass. All right, well, since we've beaten the dead horse and beat it again, we'll switch over to trivia now. So, Jonathan, take it away.
Yeah, so a quick recap. Micah is at 3 wins. Evan's at 4 wins. That's all there is to recap right now.
How many wins do you have?
Micah's at 3 wins. So Micah's not winning. Wow. All right. Anyway, we're playing Who He Play For, which, if you don't know, is everyone's favorite segment on TNT, where we basically just see everyone gang up and bully Chuck because he don't know who he play for. Now, we're modifying this slightly in that, obviously, this is a competition, not just bullying Chuck. So you will need to buzz, like always. I will say your name, and then you respond with the answer.
Okay.
If you answer before I say your name, I will say the other person's name.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Also, it doesn't have to be the player's name that I present to you. It can also be some kind of trivia question that relates to the player.
Okay.
And your answer is still who he play for, not who is he.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. I like it.
Understood?
Yep.
Cool. Your first player, Mohamed Bamba.
Buzz.
Yeah. Micah.
Magic.
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Los Angeles Lakers.
No. Yeah, this was a trade in the... Or not a trade. This was a free agent acquisition
Buzz.
in the offseason. Evan.
Pistons.
No.
Buzz.
Micah.
Mavericks.
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Rockets.
No.
Uh,
I thought this would be harder than it was meant to be.
Buzz.
Micah.
Philly.
Yes. The Philadelphia 76ers.
Take that.
All right. You ready for the next player?
Yes, sir.
This one, so we're going to alternate NBA, NFL, just so you know.
Cool.
Their next player is Ezekiel Elliott.
Buzz. New
Yes.
England Patriots.
Yes. Also, from now on, I forgot to mention this at the start, but it hasn't mattered yet. One of the answers will be my toast of the week, obviously. Mm-hmm. So after I say yes and before I reveal the answer, I will give you both a chance. You only can guess once. Is this my toast of the week?
Okay. I like it.
All right. And that's worth a point, just like everything else.
Patriots. I'm going to say no. This was not.
True. Next up, NBA player. You ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Jingles.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know this. Buzz.
Micah.
Magic.
Yes. Is this my toast of the week?
Doubt it. Although he should always be. Get
should.
jingled, baby.
He's not my toast of the week. Are you ready for the NFL version?
Yes.
Yannick Ngakoue. Another free agent acquisition in the offseason.
Buzz.
Evan.
Chargers.
No.
Buzz.
Micah.
Texans.
No.
I definitely heard that name this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buzz.
Micah.
Saints.
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Jaguars.
No. Would you like a hint?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. One moment.
I'm going to start off broad and then narrow it down if we need more hints.
I will give you a
Honestly,
color.
Oh,
Blue is in the team's
Buzz.
colors. Evan.
Lions.
No.
Buzz.
Micah.
Cowboys.
No.
There's so many teams.
There are a lot of blues. Evan.
Colts.
No.
Buzz.
Micah.
Giants.
No. I'll give you the other color. Orange.
What?
Buzz.
Micah.
Broncos.
No.
Are you lying?
No.
What? Blue and...
There are two teams in the NFL.
Buzz.
Micah.
Steelers.
No.
That's yellow.
It's black and yellow.
Oh, they have like the three colors.
They
on
do.
the-
Yeah.
Blue and orange.
You want the division?
Sure.
Okay, it is
Or wait. How about you give us conference first? That'll broadly narrow it down.
NFC.
That was not what I was... Oh, Buzz.
Evan.
Bears.
Yes.
I was thinking, like, royal blue, not...
Is Yannick Ngakoue my toast of the week?
No.
No. All right.
What is it, 2-2?
Yeah.
Next up, are you ready?
Yes.
Who is the current leader in assists per game in the NBA? Also, for the viewers out there, you guys can buzz when you're ready while I'm talking, but I tried to find generic NBA player, didn't work. I tried to find default NBA player, didn't work. Then I searched for grayed out NBA player to try and get like just a silhouette, and it gave me this Dwayne Wade in a gray tux, and I love it. So here's the photo.
Buzz.
Micah.
Mavericks.
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Rockets.
No.
Buzz.
Micah.
Denver.
No. Let me know when you're ready for a hint.
Buzz.
Evan.
Boston.
No.
Who's racking in the assists right now?
Buzz. Philly.
Micah. Or Evan, sorry. No.
He said he guessed before you said his name. So that's minus a point.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
I can take
You
a guess.
just, it would, the only thing that would happen is I don't count his answer,
All right.
but it was wrong anyway.
I take a hint at this point.
Buzz.
Micah.
This is wrong, Charlotte.
No. It is, are you ready for a hint?
Yeah.
It's in the East.
Buzz.
Micah.
Atlanta.
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Pistons.
No.
I doubt it's him.
Buzz.
Evan.
Bucks.
No. Do you want a color?
Wait.
Or do you want a division?
Division wouldn't help me.
In that case, I would like the division.
It's
agree to it.
in the
Okay.
Central Division. I have it on my phone.
Oh, damn it, I know it. Buzz.
Micah.
Chicago.
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Cavs.
No.
Buzz. Pacers.
Yes.
Is it Hallie?
It's Halliburton.
Oh, okay. Way to
Yeah.
go, buddy.
Is Halliburton my toast of the week?
No. Yeah.
Halliburton is not my toast of the week.
Damn.
So, Mike is no longer eligible for that bonus point, but he's leading 3-2. Are you ready for the NFL one?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Who is the current leader in passing yards total?
Buzz.
Micah.
Miami.
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Texans.
No.
Buzz. Nah.
That's Evan.
Bills.
No. Micah.
Chiefs.
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Oh, wait. No, you got hurt. Ravens.
No.
Buzz.
Micah.
Philly.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I just thought what you thought.
Like, who's the quarterback for Philadelphia? Wait, he already said Philadelphia.
Buzz.
Evan.
Seattle.
No. Would you like a hint?
I take conference just to broadly narrow it down.
If I can see the conference, like,
Yeah.
then yeah.
NFC. Swipe through at your pleasure.
Buzz.
Evan.
Dallas.
No.
Really?
I don't think it's him.
Buzz.
I think that's Evan.
Detroit.
No. Micah.
Niners?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so, but it can't.
Buzz.
Evan.
Commanders.
Yes.
Wow.
Is
I should have thought about that. They have no run game.
is Commanders my toast of the week, Evan?
Would it be Commanders or the person that we're talking about this scenario?
Either.
I'm going to say Sam Howell is your toast of the week.
Sam Howell is my toast
Damn it.
of the week. Evan takes the 4-3 lead. So, guys, Sam Howell, brief intermission. my toast of the week, Sam Howell, has been electric. Great guesses, by the way. Tua is third in passing yards. Stroud is second in passing yards. And Sam Howell leads it by almost 200 with a total of 2,783. He's also fourth in touchdowns this year. And with a total passer rating of 91.5, which is nothing to laugh at. And what's even crazy on top of all of that, he also leads the league in number of times sacked with 47.
Jeez.
Free Sam Howell.
Which is like more than most people get sacked in an entire season. And we're halfway through.
Free Sam Howell.
Free Sam Howell. Wow. It is an absolute mess over there, and he is still dominating. Like, the next closest guy in sacks is Zach Wilson at 33, 14 sacks back.
Jeez.
And yet there are still announcers like talking about the fact that Sam Howell like needs to prove that he's a franchise quarterback. And It's like, what else does Homie need to do?
I mean, he does have 9 interceptions on the year, but also he's on the Commanders.
Well, he's only like, isn't he? He's like, I swear every single time I check, he has like 45 passing attempts. Like, when you throw the ball that much, you're bound to throw interception. Like, it's gonna happen. So,
yeah, he's doing phenomenal. And sort of what was going to be the tricky part here was with the is he my toast question. They lost this week to the Seahawks, but in a game where Sam Howell led his offense to 37 points. So,
and a game-time drive at the very end of the game.
And a game won on a field goal.
Yeah, it's not his fault at all.
Yeah.
And he's been playing spectacularly. So, cheers, Sam Howell.
Cheers. Cheers.
But transitioning back, are you ready for the next player?
Yes.
This is NBA, remember?
Yep.
Who's the highest paid NBA
Buzz.
player? Micah?
Bucks?
No. Also, this is specifically their 2023 numbers, so it's not like overall contract.
Okay.
Buzz.
Evan?
Mavericks.
No.
Buzz.
Evan?
Boston.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm surprised you haven't guessed one specific wrong answer yet, but we'll see.
Buzz.
Evan?
Denver.
That's wrong. Yeah. That's the one.
Buzz.
Evan?
Grizzlies.
No.
I like to think that every single time Micah gets close to an answer, I take it away from him. Probably not what's happening. I'm probably just helping him narrow it down, but
I feel like, I should know this.
not gonna lie, I feel like I already went through all the teams that...
I was surprised a little bit by this one.
I would take conference.
West.
Buzz.
Evan?
Pelicans?
No.
Buzz.
Micah?
Clippers.
No.
Buzz.
Evan?
Suns?
No.
Buzz. Warriors.
Yes.
Really? Steph?
Steph Curry is the highest paid player this year, which is a little surprising because he's certainly not the highest contract right now, but he's near the end of a really big contract that was the biggest at the time.
That makes sense.
I was just trying to think of players who had like gotten contracts recently who like would be getting inflated totals. So that's why I was thinking like the Suns, KD recently got a contract.
Right.
But
I was also sort of expecting maybe Dame, but like his hasn't fully kicked in yet.
Dame or
That's
Luka.
why Bucks
or,
were my very first
All right. Are you ready for the NFL?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Who's the highest paid player in the NFL right now? This year only, and it includes their signing bonus, however much of it they got at once.
Buzz.
Evan. No.
Buzz.
Micah.
Broncos?
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Jets.
No.
Oh.
Buzz.
Evan.
Bengals.
No.
Buzz is probably wrong.
Micah?
Chargers?
No.
Buzz.
Evan.
Ravens.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was going to be my next
I was
one.
just naming off all the quarterbacks who've gotten contracts recently.
So, whether or not you get this right doesn't matter. Just what do you think the number is
What was it?
for just this year?
Just this year.
56?
52.
80.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ.
And that's mostly because
They
most of his
front-loaded his
bonus
contract. Yeah,
came
that's
out
right.
this year.
They front-loaded him because he has a chance to get hurt.
Yeah. So 80 million paid out in 2023 dwarfs almost everyone else in sports, other than like Europe, but
Soccer doesn't
Saudi.
count. Cristiano Ronaldo getting paid like $10 million a game doesn't count.
Right.
And Messi getting like a percentage of Apple.
Yeah,
Right.
Of Apple and Adidas. What the hell?
All right. Are you ready for the next question?
Yes.
I think we have 2 left. Yes, we do.
I gotta win out.
You have to win out. Also, for both of these next 2, I'll limit each person to 3 guesses total.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
And I have a tiebreaker if it comes to it. Cool. Are you ready for NBA?
Yes.
Oldest active NBA player.
Buzz.
Micah.
Miami?
No.
Is Haslam not on there anymore?
He's
Buzz.
retired.
Ah, damn.
Evan.
Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's LeBron.
Thought Haslam was still around.
He literally just retired.
He did. Just last offseason.
Damn.
It could be tricking you because he's still showing up to the facility every single day to work out. So I don't know. Like he might as well have just kept going, but whatever.
All right. Ready for this one?
His oldest player.
Youngest starting NFL quarterback.
Oh.
Buzz.
Evan.
Panthers.
No.
I had it. Buzz.
Micah.
Giants?
No.
I'm trying to just think of random as backups right now.
Starting quarterback.
Well, like a guy that are you counting guys that are like taking over for guys that are injured right now or no?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, it's still back. Buzz. Raiders.
I'm going to start double checking answers real quick. He's not the youngest.
Okay.
Buzz. Texans?
It is the Texans.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and give you.
won it. I was so close.
I know.
Oh, stupid Haslam. Why did you have to go and retire?
So, Texans, CJ Stroud is like 3-ish months younger than Bryce Young.
Okay.
The bonus question, which I'll give you anyway, even though it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
What is CJ Stroud's birthday?
Today.
And year.
Today, 2001.
Evan?
Say August 2000.
Micah would have been closer. It is 2001. October 3rd, though.
Pretty close. 40
It is
days.
pretty close. Yeah.
I'll take a point for that. Good tie, Evan.
Wow. Yeah. We're all tied up, guys. I think in the case of a tie, the moderator gets the point, though. So.
Didn't you say you had a, or was that the
That was the tiebreaker question, and you won it for me. Thanks, Micah. All right. So now that it's all tied up, with Micah and Evan both at 3, and Jonathan now screaming up to 3 points as well.
Oh, Evan lost a point on that? What the fuck?
That was trivia.
That was a fun one. I like that.
Thanks.
That was the first one that's been that stressful for me. That was cool. All right, well, we'll shift over to the final segment of the day, Sportsbook Showdown. Micah, we'll kick it over to you. What's your first bet of the week?
First bet is on tomorrow's slate of NBA games. That is Tuesday, because we are recording this Monday. So I've got the Sixers beating the Pacers, Heat beating the Hornets, and Hawks beating the Pistons. These are all teams that are on really good streaks right now that I'm hoping can stay hot. So I put 2 units on that at plus 269.
I like it. Jonathan, over to you.
Yeah, my first bet of the week is... Yes. The Seahawks beating the Rams, the Browns beating the Steelers, and the Chargers beating the Packers in next weekend's slate of games. It is plus 354, and I'm putting 2 units down.
Like it. I'm going with a little unusual for me. I'm picking all favorites in this parlay. Texans, Cowboys, Jaguars, and 49ers, which makes the odds not fantastic at plus 182.
I didn't love underdogs this week.
Yeah, but none of the underdog ones I was a huge fan of, and these all feel like really good picks to me. All these teams are good, and all of their opponents absolutely suck. So we'll take it.
And since I said I don't like underdogs this week, it's going to be chaotic, guys. A lot of underdogs are going to win.
All right, Micah, bet number 2.
I've got the Seahawks beating the Rams, Chargers beating the Packers, Texans beating the Cardinals, and my only underdog in this, the Steelers beating the Browns. I'm really high on the Steelers, and the Browns just had a good game, so I'm hoping the pattern comes back and they have a really bad game this week. So that is plus 1033. Put 2 units on that.
It's also the exact kind of game that the Steelers would somehow be able to magically win. So
they win all those weird games.
Just, I will say though, absolutely bold of you to take the Chargers of the Packers. I don't know what you think.
It's a stretch.
All right, Jonathan, bet number 2, over to you.
Yeah, so for my second bet of the week, I am going a little bit simple. Too many of the lines this week I thought were fair. So I'm just going with Nuggets -6 versus the Clippers because they are a garbage organization. And even though we are without Jamal Murray, we're going to win this game by at least 7. So -110 on that, 2 units.
Cool. For my second bet, doing a same game parlay for the Blazers game tomorrow night because that is as far out as games go that we're allowed to bet on currently on DraftKings. Thanks, DraftKings. So I'm taking Trailblazers money line. Come on, Blazers. Shaden Sharp over 21.5 points. DeAndre Ayton under 15.5 points. Lauri Markkanen over 24.5 points. And DeAndre Ayton over 12.5 rebounds.
All right.
Plus 4,700, putting 2 units down on that.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Micah, bet number 3.
Last bet, like always, is going to be a future for me. And I really want something to root for as far as the Blazers go this year. Still want to watch those games and have that feeling of wanting them to win. So I have them participating in the play-in with 1 unit at plus 1,000 odds.
I like it. Come on, Blazers.
I mean, they're honestly not far off right now. And
Yeah.
a lot of these teams, I think, could fall. And
There's a lot of teams that are doing worse than I thought they would.
yeah.
So,
And if Blazers can actually get some of their players healthy, like Anthony Simons and who knows, and Scoop,
yeah.
maybe at plus 1,000, I don't think it's the worst bet.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and I'm going for what would be an equally crazy bet if it weren't for the fact that the Broncos are beating the Bills tonight, which is Broncos to make the playoffs, plus 1260 with a unit down.
And they are currently winning right now.
They are 3-0. Bills just punted away.
Let's go, Broncos.
It was a near interception on this drive, so my
In the end
clairvoyance. No, that was a fumble.
Oh, right. At the end of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
All right, for my last bet, I'm picking the Super Bowl matchup. I'm picking the San Francisco 49ers to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Chiefs are absolutely the favorite in the AFC. No one's touching them at the moment. And then Eagles and Cowboys are probably currently favored slightly over the Niners, but I like the Niners a lot. They got a lot of fight in them, got a lot of dog in them. I think when they get to the playoffs, Kyle Shanahan will start to pull out a lot of his coaching brilliance, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that really does contribute to the 49ers' success.
Yeah.
So,
he's hardly pulling it out.
I mean, he's pulling it out, but Shanahan is always able to dial it up a little bit more. And when you have Brock Purdy, who's been just slinging it, really opens it up for you to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I already like the 49ers better than the Cowboys at this point. I think it'll be down to them and the Eagles at the end, but
more than likely.
But yeah,
like we've said, the Cowboys still have yet to beat anyone of note.
what's that like? A team that looks really good but crumbles against a good team? No idea.
Yeah. Weird to think the Dolphins have essentially become the AFC version of the Cowboys.
Oh, don't. Just no. Good night.
All right, well, that'll do it for this episode, everybody. Jonathan, take us out with a saucy take.
I did it last week.
Okay, Mike.
Evan, take it out with a saucy take.
The Eagles are going to beat the Chiefs on Monday Night Football by 20 points.
Woo! Alrighty then.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Rick. Who?
Hey, Texans.
Way to go, Texans.